Hey, can I have a minute? I know, I'm just a dog, but I promise this isn't just another sad shelter story. I need to get this off my chest. Maybe you'll understand. I did everything right. I learned the rules, well, most of them. I chewed up a shoe or two. But who hasn't? I loved my family with everything I had. I was their good girl, their first baby, their pride. But life changes. People change. Sometimes, even the best dog in the world can become inconvenient. For 7 years, I was their world. Then in a blink, I was just a problem to solve. So if you're willing, stick with me for a few minutes. This isn't just my story. It's the story of so many dogs who were perfect, until life got complicated. My name is Bailey, and this is the day my family left me at the shelter. I'm Bailey, 7 years old, golden retriever, female. I have a little white patch on my chest, and a scar on my left ear. From that time I tried to chase a squirrel under the fence. Spoiler, I didn't catch it. On the shelter paperwork, my family wrote, aggressive with children. That's what they put in the little box. Aggressive with children. It stings, because it's not true, but I guess it made it easier for them. Easier to walk away. Easier to believe they were doing the right thing. Let me tell you how it really happened. I was just a puppy when they brought me home. 8 weeks old. It was summer, June. The apartment was small, but it felt huge to me. I remember the first night, how I cried until they let me sleep at the foot of their bed. I was so scared of the thunder. They were young, newly married, full of hope. I was their first step into family life. They used to joke, we'll get a dog first. See if we can handle it. I was that dog, and I loved them more than anything. Those first years. Pure happiness. Every morning, their alarm would go off. She'd groan. He'd pretend to be asleep, and I'd wiggle my way between them. All 70 pounds of me. Sometimes I'd accidentally kick him in the ribs. Sorry, Dad. They'd laugh. Bailey, you're squishing us. But they never pushed me away. Weekends were the best. We'd sleep in, all tangled up together. I'd stretch out across their legs, while they scrolled on their phones. No rush, just us. Sometimes she'd read out loud from her phone, usually silly quizzes, or news about people I didn't know. Breakfast was a ritual. She made coffee, he made eggs, and I'd sit exactly 3 feet from the stove. Not begging, just hoping. I learned that if I looked away, I was more likely to get a treat. Reverse psychology works. Trust me. Every time, he'd accidentally drop a piece of scrambled egg. Oops, he'd say, grinning. I'd gobble it up, tail thumping. He'd scratch my ears. Good girl, Bailey. Those words meant everything. Evenings were cozy. Couch, blanket, some movie nobody watched. I'd rest my head on her lap, his hand on my ear. Sometimes I'd snore and wake myself up. They'd laugh and call me old lady, even when I was only 3. I didn't need anything else. I had them. They had me. We were a family. In 2019, he proposed, down on one knee, in the park where they first met me. I remember the grass was wet, and I rolled in something that smelled amazing. They didn't agree. They brought me along, a sign around my neck. Daddy asked. Mommy said yes. I'm in every photo smiling, tongue out, tail wagging so hard my whole body shook. I knocked over a cup of lemonade during the celebration. Oops. The wedding was a year later. Small thanks to COVID. But I was there. I walked down the aisle with her dad, wearing a flower collar. During the reception, I lay under the head table, quiet. Someone dropped a piece of cake, and I got to it before anyone noticed. When they left for their honeymoon, her mom took care of me. We'll be back soon, Bailey girl, she whispered, stroking my fur. She always smelled like lavender. 1 week felt like forever, but they came back, happy, tanned, full of stories. I barked so much I almost lost my voice. Life was good. For a while. In 2022, she started getting sick in the mornings. I'd follow her to the bathroom, worried, whining softly. Sometimes I'd nudge the door open with my nose, just to I'm okay, Bailey. Just morning sickness, she'd say, voice muffled through the door. A few weeks later, they sat me down. Well, they sat on the couch. I sat at their feet, tail sweeping the floor. Bailey, she said, hands on her belly. You're going to be a big sister. I wagged my tail. They were happy, so I was happy. I didn't really know what it meant, but I liked the sound of it. Her belly grew. I'd rest my head on it. Gentle. Sometimes the baby kicked, and I'd jump back startled. They thought it was hilarious. She'd laugh. Bailey wants to say hi to the baby. They started changing things. The office became the nursery. Furniture arrived. Crib, changing table. Tiny clothes. I sniffed everything, just in case. I wasn't allowed in that room anymore. Bailey, out. This isn't for you. It stung. But I listened. I always listened. They hired a trainer to prepare Bailey for the baby. They said. The trainer was nice, taught me commands I already knew. I got extra treats, so I didn't mind. She's very well behaved. The trainer told, she'll do great with a baby. They seemed relieved. I still didn't understand what was coming. March 15, 2023. I was put in the bedroom. Door closed. We'll be back soon, Bailey. Be good. I waited by the door for 16 hours. I counted the cars outside, listened for their footsteps. Every sound made my heart race. When they came home, everything was different. She carried a bundle, wrapped in pink. He carried tension. Bailey, meet Lily, she said, kneeling but keeping her distance. I approached, tail wagging, curious. The bundle smelled new. Milk, soap, something pure. I sniffed. Just once. Good girl, Bailey. Gentle. And I, so gentle, but everything changed. The couch, no longer mine. Bailey, down. The baby needs space. The bed, off limits. Bailey, you're too big. You'll wake the baby. No more lazy mornings, just crying, feeding, exhaustion. And me, always in the way. Bailey, move. Bailey, not now. Bailey, go to your bed. I tried so hard to be good, to be patient, to be invisible, but I was still there. 70 pounds of need in a house that didn't have room for me. It happened on a Tuesday, June 6, 2023. Lily was 3 months old, crying. She'd been crying for hours. They were exhausted, frustrated, at their limit. She paced the living room, bouncing Lily, trying to soothe her. He was in the kitchen, washing bottles, jaw clenched. I lay on my bed in the corner, watching, worried. I whined, just a little. The crying was so loud. Every instinct in me wanted to help. So I got up, walked over. Slowly, I nuzzled her leg. Gentle. Bailey. No, not now. But Lily kept crying. I just wanted to help. I stepped closer, rose up a little, trying to see. She screamed. Bailey. No, she jerked back, startled. Lily screamed louder. He came running. What happened? Bailey jumped. At the baby. I didn't jump. I just stood up, gentle, trying to comfort. But in that moment, exhausted and overwhelmed, that's what she saw. Aggression, danger, a threat. That's it, he said. Voice flat. We can't do this anymore. Just like that. I was a problem. 3 days later, they packed my things. Food, toy, bed. They forgot my favorite tennis ball. The one with the bite marks. We got in the car. I thought we were going to the park. I stuck my head out the window, ears flapping in the wind. We weren't. We pulled up to a big, gray building. The smell hit me. Fear, sadness, dogs, a shelter. They walked me inside. I wagged my tail, still trusting. A woman handed them paperwork. Reason for surrender. They didn't hesitate. Aggressive with children. I sat, perfect posture, looking up at them, waiting for them to say it was a mistake. They didn't look at me. They signed the paper, handed over my leash. You can say goodbye if you want, the woman said. She knelt briefly, didn't meet my eyes. Be good, Bailey. That's all she said. He didn't say anything, just turned and walked out. I watched them leave, watched the door close, watched my world walk away. The shelter worker tugged my leash. Come on, sweetie, let's get you settled. Like this was home now. I'm in a kennel, concrete floor, chain link walls, 47 other dogs, all waiting. My neighbor Max barks at everything. I don't mind. At night I dream of scrambled eggs and warm laps. I don't bark, I don't jump. I just sit and wait. Maybe they'll come back. Maybe tomorrow the door will open and it'll be them. But every day it's not. Because my paperwork says aggressive with children, and no one wants a dog with that label, even though it's a lie. I wish I could tell them I wasn't aggressive. I was worried. I was trying to help. I didn't jump at your baby. I stood up to see her, to understand. I would have protected her with my life. But you were tired, overwhelmed, and I was inconvenient. I get it. Babies are hard. Sleep deprivation makes you see threats where there aren't any. But I wasn't a threat. I was your family. For 7 years. I was there. Every morning, every night, every time you needed comfort. And when you needed space, I became disposable. No hard feelings. I don't have it in me. I just wish you'd tried. Wish you'd given me a chance. Wish you'd seen I could adapt. But you didn't. And now I'm here, waiting. If you're watching this, and you have a dog, and you're expecting a baby, please, don't do what they did. Don't assume your dog will be a problem. Give us a chance. We can adapt. We can love your children as fiercely as we loved you, but we need time, patience, training. See us as family, not as a phase. And if you're at a shelter, looking at dogs like me, read the paperwork carefully. Sometimes, aggressive with children just means owners were overwhelmed. Sometimes, the perfect dog is waiting right there. Give us a chance, please. If this story touched you, share it. Share it with someone who's about to have a baby, someone who has a dog, someone who needs to hear it. And if you want more stories from those who never got to speak, subscribe. Because next week there's another voice, another story. Don't miss it. Because if we could speak, what would we say to you?